Welcome to the CricCut Podcast. My name is Sai, and I'm here with Pranavish, and we are here to give you our playing 11 predictions for the new bilateral series coming up between India and New Zealand. So, without further ado, let's begin. For my playing 11, my two openers are Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, or in other words, the captain and vice captain. For the first two games, at least, they'll obviously have Rohit and KL to experiment with the new combination of leaders for India. But I also think Gaikwad could open with Rohit, and KL can drop down to the middle order. Moving on to number 3 and 4, I have Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer. Surya Kumar Yadav, I feel he's been playing well recently, and in the World Cup, he showed some great stroke play. And Shreyas Iyer, he had a great comeback in IPL, and after his injury earlier in the year, he showed some great improvement. After seeing India's performance in the World Cup, there was no one to back up the poor starts India had in the power play. I think Shreyas Iyer can provide that in your playing 11, which is why he's there. Of course, my wicketkeeper is Rishabh Pant, but I can see Ishan Kishan replace Pant later in the series, in the middle order. Next up, I have Venkatesh Iyer. He has shown some brilliant stuff for KKR in the second leg of IPL. Normally he opens, but I've given him the finishing role as he has shown that he can get going quickly and even bowl through 2 to 3 overs. He'll be a valuable asset for India, especially since Jadeja isn't in the squad. So it's a good resemblance of both. My 5 bowlers are Ashwin, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar, Mohammad Siraj, and Yuzvendra Chahal. Ashwin in white ball cricket has improved tremendously. And I think if he can target those left-handers in New Zealand, then Ashwin can be a key to winning any match. And it is proven that Yuzvendra Chahal not being in the squad in the World Cup was a costly mistake as he was playing well in the IPL. Now that he is back, he will hope to make a big impact. Siraj and Deepak Chahar recently haven't been getting the most chances in T20 cricket, and Siraj especially will want to make the most out of this opportunity. Lastly, Bhuvi, who obviously isn't in form, is still getting chances. Why is that? I feel it's because Team India knows the things that Bhuvi can bring to the table, and they're trusting him even though he's not performing. So hopefully Bhuvi excels in this series and continues throughout the whole season.
My playing 11 at least for the first T20 international game is Rohit Sharma and KL would most likely open for the first game. And then SKY at number 3, Shreyas Iyer, as Sai mentioned, he anchored the middle order. So even if wickets fell, he was there to anchor the innings. And then at number 5, it's Rishabh Pant, and number 6 is Venkatesh Iyer. I wouldn't be surprised if Venkatesh Iyer and Rishabh Pant switch their spots, depending on what situation the team is in. Venkatesh Iyer is my 6th bowling option. So I would expect him, if a main bowler doesn't do good, I would really expect him to step up and bowl good overs. As we saw in the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy, he has been doing amazing with the ball and with the bat. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the 11. At number 7, it's going to be Ashwin. Again, as he said, white ball, the man's still a legend. He would be the key to remove the openers, depending on who the openers is, that is for New Zealand. And then number 8 is going to be Deepak Chahar. Number 9 is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And the reason I think that Bhuvi is still in the squad is to give him more chances and bring him back to form for the next T20 World Cup. Because we saw David Warner, against SRH. In SRH, he didn't do that great. They dropped him. Obviously, Australia didn't do that. They backed him. One good knock, he was back in form. That is the exact same thing that's going to happen to Bhuvi. England series and back earlier this year, he was amazing, dude. His economy wasn't over 6 at all. I'm pretty sure in the T20 series, he was amazing, and ODI series too. He was really good. Okay, so maybe it's just the pitches in UAE and India. Maybe that's the difference, but I still think he's a valuable asset to the Indian team. Number 10 is going to be Yuzi Chahal. Again, he's the breakthrough guy. He's going to get breakthroughs when the captain needs him to. And then number 11 is Mohammad Siraj.
As far as the series goes, I think it'll be pretty close, especially after New Zealand's performance in the World Cup, although they lost in the finals. I think it'll be tied 1-1. In the last game, I honestly couldn't tell you who will win. That's how close India and New Zealand are in recent times. But based on stats, India has beaten New Zealand 5-0 in their last bilateral series. But then again, New Zealand have beaten India 3 times in knockout ICC tournaments. So it looks to be a good series of cricket, to be honest.
So I'm going to say India is going to go on full on and win the PTM series. Right? It's a PTM series, and what I've seen many times is India wins the PTM series, but fail to beat New Zealand in the ICC knockouts. So I'm still going to say 2-1. New Zealand aren't that bad of a team. I would say 1-1, and then last match is the decider, and India gonna win in the last over.
Who do you think will be the X factor for India this series? Who is going to stand out the most?
I'm gonna put my full trust on Bhuvi. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be Bhuvi, who's gonna be come back in form and who's gonna be the X factor for India for winning the series.
Thank you for watching our cricket podcast where we predicted the playing 11s for this bilateral series. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Peace.